Hello and welcome back to the ReGen Invitational 2. I am your host, CatPeach, back with you, here with my buddy Previous. Previous, how was your break? That is good to hear, my friend. For those of you just tuning in, the ReGen Invitational is a best of 32 teams, all competing for a $100 prize at the end of it all. Let's take a look at our bracket so far in the day. So we are finally finished up with the round of 32 teams, which were all played on Infernal Shrines as voted by the participants. So we are now into the round of 16, where our first match here, and actually the final match of the cast on this channel at least, will be the Blasting Burros versus Divine 9. And we are moving on to Volskaya Foundry, which is a very interesting and very different map than Infernal Shrines. But both these teams have fought their way to compete on this battlefield, which should be really, really exciting. Being able to control those capture points for a certain amount of time, strategizing how you're really using that Triglav Protector, always gets exciting. We're just getting our lobby set up, waiting for all these teams to be ready before we get the show on the road. ReGen Invitational brought to you in part by the Nexus Gaming series. You may have seen me kicking around there before. Also brought to you by ReGen, the organization who you might know from having some teams kicking around the scene. ReGen Blue, ReGen Black, ReGen Red, ReGen all the colors. I really hope one day ReGen has the full spectrum of rainbows. So as we wait for, we were waiting on one team member to get started. Things I have missed since casting. St. Basil, thank you for the follow over here. Appreciate it. And we had a bunch of hosts and raids from Bahamut, from Fear, Professor Bobo, I think I got you last time. Thank you all for the support. The teams really love being the center of attention in these types of events, understandably. Alright, we just had our final team member join our lobby here, so forgive the slows. Probius, what are some of your favorite strategies here on Volskaya Foundry? You know, I tend to agree. I think that, you know, those kind of cheese strats don't really work too well on here. Not very, very often. All right, we have both teams finally ready, so let's get this here show on the road. Blasting Burros versus Divine 9. Both teams that are fairly well known, fairly high ranking over in the Nexus Gaming series. I've had the pleasure of casting Divine 9 in the past, Jason. Such a wonderful captain, wonderful individual. So Volskaya Foundry. What are we expecting? We've been seeing a lot of the standard Chromie Rainer, Alex Strazabands. Alex Strazaban definitely far more prominent on this map, I think, than even Infernal Shrines. Back in the day, before Lifebinder had its update, where it also heals Alex Straza, this was kind of the map we saw her on, along with Infernal Shrines. So even without that buff, Alex Strazaban, not out of the question. Abther getting banned out, given that there's so much focus on a particular area of the map at a given time. Really good opportunity for him to soak in lanes. And there's that Alex Straza ban that we talked about. And this is the first game I've casted today where Chromie and Rainer weren't the first 1-2 bans. So, changing things up. You love to see it. You love to see something different. So ban number 2 for blasting Burros. Will we see something a bit more in the meta? They end up banning Murden. Which is very interesting. Not necessarily a ban we see right away. So likely very much a target ban for Divine 9. Perhaps even a hole that they're trying to avoid in their own draft. Genji coming out from Divine 9 is banned. No surprise there. First pick. Rainer's on the table. Deckard's on the table. Deckard Cain ends up being picked up first. With the recent changes to Malfurion, a lot of people are considering Deckard the strongest support in the game now. Yrel, quick snatch up from Divine 9. She did go through some nerfs recently, but not enough to deter her from popularity in this game today. Follow up Johanna. Small warriors on the table for Divine 9. I'd really like to see Blasting Burros pick up their own warrior so they don't potentially get choked out. Also expecting either a damage dealer or an offlane that they want to prioritize to match up against Yrel. We've been seeing a lot of Dahaka. We're going to see Blaze and Jaina. Blaze with that sustain should match pretty well into that Yrel. In that top lane. Third ban phase rolling in. And rolling out, we shall not. Hammer out of the picture. This is kind of the map that really popularized her comeback here in Heroes of the Storm on a professional level, thanks to prominence in Korea, in her showing at the mid-season brawl. Final ban coming for Blasting Burros. It is going to be Phoenix. Not wanting to deal with those slows or purification salvo combinations. Don't want to deal with that planet cracker. Ruining your push with that protector. Divine 9, we need supports and we need damage. What do they have in store? What can they follow up with that Yrel slow, with the knockback? They're gonna pick up Mr. Rainer. And also pair it with a Rhaegar. Aggressive support. Coming out from the support doggo of the Nexus. Rainer, I'm surprised, made it this far into the draft. So far today, he's been fairly prioritized, either for picks or for bans, mostly bans. So who's the main tank here? We have ETC and Maev. The ETC Jaina Maev Classic. You have the ring that is Ring of Frost, you have the ring that is Mosh Pit, and you have the ring that is Warden's Cage. Overlapping all those together, have your ETC going first, land that Mosh Pit, Ring of Frost to follow, and then Warden's Cage, just to make sure that when they're low and try to escape, that they get pulled right back in. This is going to be a deadly combination for Blasting Burros. Interesting! We have a Medivh coming out for Divine 9. Arbius, what do you think about that Medivh? I also thought it was pretty unexpected, to be honest. It was not my first inkling. However, being able to further protect your Yrel, or being able to protect your Rainer so that Rainer can actually go in and deal that damage that he needs to go in and deal is an interesting concept. Being able to quickly teleport in and out from those capture points as well. It's curious. It is curious. That Medivh is going to have to be entirely on point, I think, for that to work out. But we're going to have to see. Currently, I don't know, Blasting Burros, and maybe it's because I'm a bit of a Jaina main these days. Really into their draft. I think it's really strong, and they have a lot of tools in that toolkit that they can use to punish the heck out of Divine Nine, but we will have to see how things play out as we start this best one here. On the left in blue, we have Blasting Burros. We have Tidley on ETC, Zoo on Decker Kane, Pyromantic on Jaina, Time on Maya, and Michaelon on Blaze. And in the red, Divine Nine. We're gonna have Big Wiz on Rhaegar, Jason on Raynor, Rabbit Penguin on Johanna. I couldn't tell if it was Medivh. This guy gonna be on Yrel, which then leaves, and because I don't have the the little name above them, Phantoms will be flying as that bird up on Medivh. Rabbit Penguin, I like this patience of staying over there, waiting for the right time to go in, use that blind, and use that condemn. Yrel already soaking in that bot while Blaze soaks in the top lane, so trading out inexperience there. Time gets a tether onto Rabbit Penguin, but it's Johanna, so he's going to be able to walk right away. It's not very often you see a support matching up against Yrel. Decker just trying to passively soak some of that experience in the bottom lane. Divine Nine rapidly rotating, seeing where they get the most experience, trying to avoid too much of a team fight early on. Blasting Burros already focusing on the support camp. This map in particular, the value of items is incredibly valuable, so as soon as these camps spawn, we tend to see teams prioritizing grabbing those items. We see Divine Nine grabbing that fortification camp on bottom to get that turret, and Yrel is keeping tabs here. And this turret finds a Kaelin. And a match up here in the bottom lane while everyone else rotates, passes by, says hello. In mid. Blasting Burros swing 2 folks, 3 folks up here in top to push back this lane against Rhaegar. We see a potential contestant here for this fortification camp. Time is going to be able to grab that. The portals do come out from Medivh for an escape there for Divine Nine. Tidley trying to stun Rabbit Penguin, ends up missing on the power slide. Let's take a look here at some talents. So Sapphire coming down from our Deckard Kane. Additional slows on that Heradic Cube. Fingers of Frost coming out. Fingers of Mana for Jaina. So she's going to be roaming around quite heavily, making sure that she's picking up those regen globes. Raynor, we see a pretty standard build for what's been happening with his rework. Ace in the hole. This guy going on to Leahy. He does have that support camp, which is something that Divine Nine does not have. Both teams do have 1 turret each. Or even on that front. Yrel ends up getting disrupted by the ETC. He's going in. I have been able to tether many members of Divine Nine. Portal comes out for escape. Phantom's able to get away. Tilly still trying to find a stun, a slow somewhere. This guy ends up rotating entirely to the bottom lane. Rabbit Penguin ends up being such a front for their team. Indeed, ends up getting caught in the back and ends up being first blood of this game. Pyromantic getting very low, ends up backing away. Time trying to make something happen, ends up using that ability to get out of that mess. Blasting Burros, both teams, their health bars are incredibly low. Turret going out in favor of Blasting Burros. Maya looking low, but the root goes out onto Johanna, and she is going to fall. This guy also getting incredibly low. The leap comes out just so this guy can't escape, and Jason sticking around trying to poke. But the first few percents of this capture point go in favor of Blasting Burros. Rhaegar just trying to soak. Both teams at this point trying to get level 10, or level 7. I mean, they're also trying to get level 10. at all points. But he ends up getting stunned away by Mikhail. Jason getting really low, ends up having the back. We're going to have to tap that well. And we're nearing 50% here on percentage for blasting Burros for this first protector. Still level 7 now being picked up for both teams here. And we're seeing quite the Emerald build coming out for Decker Kane here. Divine 9 trying to contest this as best they could. They do have all 5 members. Healing ward, or slow ward coming out from Big Wiz. You're all trying to knock members of Black and Burros out. The tether comes out from Maya, particularly to being blinded. This guy trying to engage there, Jaina ends up dying due to that slow coming out from Uriel, being able to slow her down, get the kill from Johanna. Divine 9 able to spin this around, start getting percentage of their own. Maya coming up top, soak a bit more. Dave keeping an eye out in bottom lane. What's going on there? Keeping an eye on that Blaze. For now, a quiet, a pause in the match. Blasting Burros have 99%, so they can wait a bit and soak a bit before they attempt to contest this yet again. Still, he's starting to go in. Starting to see who on Divine 9 happens to be at the point. Blaze is still in the bottom lane, however, so it is 4v5 at this given point in time, but Rhaegar is going to go over, keep tabs on him. Blaze is starting to show the way up. Comes in from those conveyor belts. Turret lands for Divine 9 onto the Void to give them a bit more attack speed. Both teams now at 99%. This is where someone really needs to claim it. Tiddly He trying to get the members of Divine 9 out of that area to start claiming it. Maya looking for a tether, doesn't necessarily find it. Power Slide coming out, unstoppable topped for this guy. Tether ends up connecting 2 members of Divine 9. And Johanna and Rhaegar end up falling in that fight. There was no portal for them to escape. Jason, desperately trying to escape, ends up falling right at the end there. Protector number 1 going to the side of blasting Burros. You're all trying to make up that experience here in the bottom lane. Level 10 is about to hit here for the members of the blasting Burros. And this protector is going to roam around, going to take out these gates as fast as possible, which then preps the lanes to deal damage directly to those forts. We end up having Water Elemental coming out from the Jaina, which was not something I was expected given the synergy between Mosh Pit and Warden's Cage that Ring of Frost has. Everything else seems fairly standard. We have to stay a while and listen. Coming out from Decker Kane. This fort should fall from Divine 9, who are about to hit 10. And if they can time this out, they have 10 before the trigger up is popped. So can they perhaps engage in a fight at this point? There isn't necessarily an advantage, and some of their health bars are chunked down, so it would be a bit of a risk. Members of Blasting Burros going to rotate, not giving them the opportunity, going to invade on this fortification camp. This guy sees this, starts to go in and is met by a power slide from Tiddly He. Ends up backing away. Blasting Burros should be able to steal this turret. Support camp was grabbed in favor of Divine 9 at the same time. Name of the game is items, people. Trying to grab as many items as possible. Rabbit Penguin ends up skating by time. Divine 9 trying to invade on this fortification camp, which is very interesting. Have a bit catch up. Warren's Cage ends up coming down. Ancestral healing as well. Time looking a little bit low. Rabbit Penguin as well. Raynor ends up being the first to fall in this fight, and Rabbit Penguin looking low. Ends up almost looking like he got squished by the bunker. Divine now on the retreat. Phantom slowed by the oil. Time going in, trying to get those that damage from Phantom Knives out. The additional healing coming out from Rhaegar saves them, but the chase is on here. Additional souls coming out from Blaze, but with a well-placed portal, they are able to simply sneak out of there. Urel ended up also going down in that fight, which is good to point out. And all of this allowed Blasting Burros to get that level 13 advantage over their opponents. They've already taken out a fort. They're trying to take out a second one. Rabbit Penguin very deep in this confrontation. Portal comes out, allowing the members of By9 to pass in. Scroll Ceiling comes out. The stun onto Rainer from Tiddly. Results in him going down as well. Rabbit Penguin looking incredibly low. Uses Unstoppable in order to get out, but ended up Tiddly ends up power sliding into this guy. Stay a while and listen. Used to make sure that Urel could not escape through that portal. Ends up being yet another kill in favor of Blasting Burros. And at this point, Blasting Burros, they have free reign of this map. They are still a talent tier ahead. They are structurally ahead. The thing about being ahead is that you're soon going to run out of places to take advantage of other than team fights. But the team fight coming out from Blasting Burros is so strong that I don't think that's necessarily going to be a problem. The crowd control coming out from Maya, from Time, is absolutely spectacular. Being able to land those tethers, whereas Cage ends up dropping the members of By9 again at the focus of that blizzard, end up falling incredibly low. Moshpit got out to keep Phantoms in that fight longer than they wanted to be. Phantoms uses the portal to sneak out, but Michelin is trying to sneak back and get them. That left Urel entirely stranded there by the camp, which allowed Blasting Burros to pick her off. And this is such a dominant performance coming out from Blasting Burros. They are looking for opportunities left and right to take these fights, and they know they can. Again, they're about to hit level 16. Their opponents haven't hit 13 yet. Time has a turret as well. I don't think Divine 9 has a turret of their own. So Blasting Burros is going to start prepping this top lane. With this protector, it is extremely likely that Blasting Burros will be able to get that top keep very early. 4 members of Blasting Burros coming down to the support camp to give them a little more sustain through any fight that they may run into. While the members of Divine 9 come around, they're going to try to get an item from themselves. They understand that there's no way they're going to be able to fight over this objective. So prepping for a hopeful next objective, hoping that they're able to fend off this protector. And you see them all harping back as this protector starts to make their way toward this gate that already has a lot of damage done to it. In order to defend that keep, all heroics are up, mind you. So this fight, even though they're a talent tier down, is something that Divine 9 is going to have to take if they want to make sure this game lasts longer. Sacred Ground coming out from Urel, who's trying to defend this point. Protector now looking at about half health here. Condemn coming out from Rabbit Penguin. And the keep finally goes down and is still half health. Blasting Burros trying to focus down heroes now to see if they can position themselves to potentially start damaging this core. This guy ends up getting tethered back in, walking through the flames. Phantom's looking at half health, and then comes out from Red Penguin. Blasting Burros starting to make their way back, knowing that they did not get as much damage to any specific hero as they would have liked. And so the likelihood that they could end here, that they can do core damage, greatly diminishes. So they're going to back up. They only have 5 seconds left of this protector anyway. And so they're going to move to this mid-gate and start prepping this lane. Perhaps also taking a fight if the opportunity arises. Urel goes through the portal and is immediately rooted by Decker Kane. I'm surprised there was not more punish onto that Soul Urel portal move. Given how easily they've been able to take that Urel out so far this game, it seemed like a opportunity for that to happen. And we're gonna have a pause here. Coming out, as one of our members has disconnected. Let's see here. All right, teammate now back. We are counting down. All right.
Returning traders receive no welcome here.
Game now returned here. Sorry for that, folks. And a little bit of a disconnect, but we are back. Level 16 still not here for Divine 9. They're trying as hard as they can to safely soak this. But with pressure down here on their bottom fort, there's only so much they can do. They will likely lose this fort, which will put their opponent closer to 20 than they would really like. Blasting Burros just has so much control over this map and has kept this multiple level lead thus far in the game. And they are not looking to let that up. The rest of the members of Divine 9. Coming down to respond. Sorry, I was like, how come I can't see the team? And realize I hit a button by accident. Divine 9 coming down, at least to protect that keep. They've already lost one, and they don't want to lose a second. Given that will cause them to have to respond to pressure more consistently in multiple lanes. They're already going to have to worry about catapults coming through that top lane, and they can't leave that alone, which greatly diminishes how much they can really hold on to a capture point without also having to clear that lane. They're roaming. They see it typically. Urel goes in with the slow squirrel ceiling, immediately comes out and stuns. The Warden's Cage ends up coming up as well and immediately melting all 5 members of Divine 9. That combination of Warden's Cage, the Blizzard coming out from Jaina, the damage from the Water Elemental, and a Stay a While and Listen just to finish off the job. Blasting Burros. Looking to end, going right through that wave, focusing directly on the core, and with no members up on Divine 9, that shield is going to fall, and the amount of damage coming out this fast from Blasting Burros. This will be GG for Blasting Burros, who will continue on the rest of this tournament and go to the quarterfinals. Congratulations. Again, showing just the synergy between Mosh Pit, between the Warden's Cage, even without the Ring of Frost, like I suspected, the sheer damage coming out from Blizzard, from Jaina in that area, also doing a lot of damage. The Water Elemental being able to slow targets as well. Probius, what'd you think of that match overall? You know, you couldn't have said it better. Let's take a look at the stats from that game really fast. Blaze soaking their heart out. Look at that siege damage. And the damage from Jaina coming out as well. Let's take a final look at those talents. Level 20 picked up for Blasting Burros, but not really needing too much of that. So congratulations to them on a swell victory. 19 kills to 1. The kill potential on Divine 9. When you end up picking that Proteus like that, sure, Raynor can put out a lot of damage, but it's not as strong damage as like a hyper carry, which seems to kind of be what they were going after with that. But didn't pan out exactly how they had suspected. Well fought for getting to this round at the very least, so GG's to Divine 9 and to Blasting Burros. We'll see both teams fight out some more in the Nexus Gaming Series Season 5, which is coming up. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a blast here, casting the ReGen Invitational 2 brought to you by the Nexus Gaming Series over here. I am not done. I am still casting with my dear friend Bahamut, who many of you probably know. We are going to go raid his channel now, and at 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern, we will be starting on the quarterfinals over there. So I will see you all soon. I want to thank, number one, P. Seaman, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. I want to give the folks over at ReGen a big thank you for letting me cast this tournament. This was a blast, and I appreciate it. I hope you all had fun. All these VODs will also be available, so if you feel like watching them again, they'll be around. No worries. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, what else do I want to thank? I thanked ReGen and also Nexus Gaming Series, who I stream for. I cast a lot of games for Nexus Gaming Series. I'm also on their NGS Network stream team. And if you don't get the hint, I love the Probius. Probius, you know I love you. Aw, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. All right, everyone, we are going to go raid Bahamut. I have to time this out correctly, though.